Hello and welcome to today's episode of Full Throttle. We are going to do things a little differently. Now, beginning of each episode, I'm going to read off the discounts and all the other needed information for the event week, and then ending with what vehicle is being released, and then obviously the video will either be on that released vehicle or it will be on a separate topic. So, to start off, we have 2 times money and RP on several racing modes, being the ISI Classic, the stunt races, hot ring races, basically anything to do with stunt races. 2 times money and RP on business battles, so every time you see a business battle pop up on your free roam screen, don't think you're going to be the only one going to it. Discounts for cars. These ones are 35% off. The Devastate 8, Anus SATRR, Anus RE7B, the Thrax, Atali GTO, and all garages. 40% off of the Progen GP1, the Emperor ETR1, the Vapid GB200, and the D-Classe Hot Ring Sabre, OB Omnis, and all the liveries including brake, handling, engine upgrades, turbos, transmissions, and suspensions. So this week is full of racing themed discounts, probably to get ready for the F1 cars, open wheel races if you please. Twitch Prime benefits are 10% off discounted on the listed above, and that's about it, apart from 80% off the Pyro, which I think is the fastest plane, and the Rhino tank, which you can steal from any military base. The premium race is taken off, and the time trial is Del Perro Pier, and the RC Bandito time trial is Davis Quads, I think. I'm not sure if that's how I pronounce that right. But the vehicle that was released today, well, yesterday actually, going by the time I'm recording this, was the Drift Yosemite. Now, I'm not going to be doing a review on it, mainly because, long story short, it's slower than the original Yosemite. The upgrades are near enough identical, apart from some different liveries, and it, like I said, it's slower than the normal one, so I don't see any point. But my thing at the moment is the Krieger and the Progen Emerus. Now, for a long time, once the Progen Emerus had been released, I would use it all the time for racing. There wouldn't be a race that I wouldn't use without it in the sport superclass, because of the four-wheel drive, basically the no need for a spoiler. You don't need a spoiler on it. The four-wheel drive handles the traction perfectly. But recently I've been winning the podium cars, and one of the podium cars was the Progen Emerus, and I tried the technique of spinning it every time I didn't like what I got, came off the Xbox, loaded it up again so it didn't save the spin, so I just kept spinning it until I got it. Luckily, on the very last try, I spun it, boom, landed straight on it. So I was very pleased with that. Because I never really liked this car. I kind of took it as a Krieger and Emerus rivalry. Like, you could only have one. It's like the Atali GTO and the Pariah. Which do you think is better? Kind of thing. So I tried it. I upgraded it. I used it because, you know, I won it. If I try and sell it, I'm only going to get about 13 grand for it. So there's no point. Just keep it. So I kept it. And upgraded it and everything, and I was driving it about free roam. I thought, this is actually quite quick. So I put it on the test track. The time was, they were near enough identical, the times, only because it's a custom street race, so it's going to have different results than to a Rockstar created street race. But when I got to the stunt races, I thought, right, you know what, to save the pain of other people, I'll do it on my own, see how it does. I think I did 3 different races. All my personal bests have been set in the Krieger. The Emerus actually beat my Krieger personal bests by 3 seconds each time, give or take a few milliseconds. So it's on around a stunt track on your own, or around a stunt track with slipstream off and catch up off, it is faster than the Krieger. But most times when you do stunt races with other players, catch up will be on, meaning the first place person will go slower than what they should. So with other people with catch up on, it's still on a level playing field with the Krieger. But if catch up was for some reason not on, the Emerus, I think, would take the lead by far, knowing as long as you know how to drive properly, rather than crashing into people to get up in position. I use them both. I can win in both. The Krieger does have its advantages with its 4-wheel drive, meaning it can accelerate faster, get off the line faster at the beginning, it can go around corners better, and it's not sliding about. But the Emerus, with its slightly more top speed, can go faster in a straight line on a stunt race. So in a straight line track, I think it's different, but from my driving style and skill, the Emerus is faster than the Krieger if you're on your own. If you're racing against others, you're dodging and weaving other people, so it's slightly different. But the Emerus is slightly better in speed. So what I would suggest, if you're debating or trying to figure out which cars are best and what you want to race in, when it comes to the races, try and have 2 types of car, mainly sports and super. Muscle cars not really too bad because there's not a lot of muscle stunt races, but sports and super. What I do, or used to do, was have one supercar and sports car that was good for turning and has good grip, the other one that has good speed, because the point-to-point races, you're not going to have a lot of turns in it, you're going to have more straight lines, so you're going to need a car with good top speed. But for circuit races, you're going to have a lot of turns, so you're going to need one that has good traction and has good control. So my 2 that I use at the moment with the double money on stunt races, I am using the Krieger just because I'm comfortable with it, I'm used to it, I know what I'm doing with it. But if it was just normal races, no double money, I'd use the Emerus on sprint races or any race that has very little turns in it, and then the Krieger for races that have a lot of turns in it, because you want good grip on them turns, because good grip means you ain't got to brake as much, which means you can get faster around the corners. Other ones that I've done that are good for sprint races are the X80 Proto for when you're doing non-custom vehicles. If the X80 Proto is on that list of options, choose that. The Wagner for circuit races, for corners, that's good. The Devastate 8 is kind of a mix of both. It's good for turns and it's good for corners, straights even. It's also very heavy, so it's quite difficult to get off the track if you're an aggressive driver. So it's built a bit like a tank. But I'm going to do a video eventually on how to get good at going around stunt tracks. This will be one of them on the topic. It will be which cars are best for what. So, without getting too much into it, I will leave it at that. The Krieger and the Emerus at the moment, for me, personal opinion, are the best two sports supercars that there are to be able to use. So if you're gonna get into racing, you're gonna need one of these. It's gonna need to be upgraded. Sports class, either the Prior or Itali GTO, but it's up to you. It's what you're comfortable with. So hopefully you all enjoyed. It's a bit of a strange episode, I know, but hopefully next week we'll have a special car release and I will be able to do a proper full throttle episode review on it. So until that time comes, I will see you all next week, and thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye bye.